What's up guys, welcome back to another video. In this video I want to talk about God and just like why I think, the loneliness is very profound when you're, on your faith journey with God. And the reason is because God is removing those bad people from your life, right? And God can only bring in good new people that actually suit what you're going to, in a sense, like be a frequency match, or whatever you want to say, like positivity match, like your faith match, whatever you want to say. It could be like, doesn't matter if it's an ordained marriage, if it's friends, the people you have in like fellowship, like all these people are the new people that you can hang around with, essentially, because like God knows that you can't hang around with these other people. The only reason you might have trouble is if you hold on and past people and you never let go, and that's when you get into trouble. I knew the second like I kind of walked into this faith journey and I was already kind of letting go of a lot of stuff, is like I started pretty much like letting go of people straight away, and I started avoiding a lot of bad people as well, and like circumstances and stuff where I could meet bad people, because I kind of instantly knew to myself like that my old life was like gone, and it felt like a new start, and it was already kind of had something I've been anticipating, or kind of almost like thinking that it's going to happen, and I was almost like you could say afraid of it. But at the same time, when God came into my life, I felt like that loneliness that you usually feel when you're in that like dark place and you have those like satanic dispositions and problems, and a lot of darkness in your life, and you have bad friends around. You usually feel worse because of hanging around the wrong people. And having God in my life also removed that sense of like needing other people. It allowed me to kind of learn how to stand by myself and be happy by myself and joyful by myself with God, and just enjoy God's presence and enjoy my own presence, and come to have self-love and be able to do activities by myself, like, I don't know, go to the beach and enjoy a beach moment, go camping, have a nice meal there, and just chill like by myself, go to the gym or whatever, work out by myself, whatever it is, just working, or doing my faith things and so on. And doing all these things alone kind of just teaches you like how to be alone. It's not like there's nobody absolutely in my life, but like what I mean is most of the time I'm pretty much alone. And I think it is pretty much going to be like that most of the time for most like believers, real believers, because God is going to isolate you from a lot of people, because most people in this world are just very corrupted and bad, honestly, and they're not good for you or your faith journey with God if you want to grow with God. And that's why it's so important to discern when you're on your faith journey, and that you don't get into temptations and mistakes and go in the wrong places to meet people. God might guide you, but you can obviously still take the wrong actions, like especially when it comes to like attracting, or trying to attract the wrong people, or you're thinking about like approaching the wrong people. You can still do those actions. It's not like God is necessarily going to stop you as much as he's protecting you, of course. But there's God usually still removes people that are not meant to be in your life, because certain people are just meant to be and certain people are not meant to be in your life. But it's not like God is going to physically stop you from doing something necessarily. But that's where you kind of need to also understand, are you coming from a place of like pure loneliness, that you're like approaching bad people because you're just lonely and you're not rooted in God? Because if you were actually rooted in God and praying your daily, reading the word, if you're doing these things, that loneliness will be replaced with like feeling satisfied in the presence of God, and feeling this peace and joy and self-love when you cultivate this. Like meditate with God, pray, spend time just in silence, contemplate God's word and apply it in your life. And you notice over time, as you get more enlightened and understand more and experience more, that like life gets profoundly more peaceful when those bad people go away from your life, for the most part at least. I don't know what your situation is, but like if you still have to keep contact, for example, with family sometimes, that's like by text or whatever, then okay. But like for the most part, people are away from your life. When you're in that situation, you're gonna feel this like profound sense of peace, especially if you were disturbed by these people before and you were not able to let go, and God kind of did the work for you in a sense and orchestrated it. If you just surrender to it and submit to its orchestration, you'll feel this profound sense of peace, because it's like you finally let go of that burden in a sense that was holding you back. Maybe it was holding you back from pursuing your dreams, for me, for sure, like a lot of friends and family and circumstance was holding me back from pursuing my dreams, or like going and doing what I actually love to do and what I actually found passion in and what I actually found a calling in. In a sense, I felt like God led me on the path, like to actually do what I wanted and not live this path of, you could say, darkness and destruction, in the sense that I would have probably like been very miserable and dark and not actually enjoying my life at all on that path, even if it's a more comfortable path for sure. I'm sure that I could be fairly comfortable in that path, but like it's not the path that actually is going to lead me to that victory, where in the sense that I feel victorious, in the sense that I found this profound sense of joy and peace and faith in God, as well as accepting God as my only provider, as well as like understanding that God has the best plan for me and not what I think is like comfortable and nice to do. And that's where it's important for you to understand these things and submit to it. And yeah, so like you don't need to worry about loneliness so much, but if you feel it, this video might be for you. But if there's a will, there's a way. Thank you for watching. One-on-one's in the description and donation in the description. Helps so very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Amen.